Have you seen Baby Reindeer?
About halfway through.
Right.
Yeah, about up to episode 4, I think.
I guess let's do a quick spoiler warning for anybody that hasn't seen up to episode 4 of Baby Reindeer. I'm currently on season 2, which means I'm watching the Piers Morgan interviews. Because I kid you not, I finished the show and I was like, man, I just want more of that. And then like a couple of days later, Piers Morgan did the interview, so I got my wish in some sort of monkey's paw, monkey's paw kind of way.
Yeah.
So your episode, what is I guess okay. Also, trigger warning. There's some very dark.
That's basically where I got up to. I got up to the scene in the apartment
with his manager or whatever.
With the guy who was helping him, like the writer.
Yes, okay. So that's the Wham episode.
Because I remember I was watching it before I was going to go do something, and I was like, I don't need this on my mind.
You're going to go have a meeting with your manager.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I guess what are your thoughts? Are you enjoying it? What's your
enjoying it? Yes, it goes from I didn't know what it was about until I started watching it, and then it starts off quite lighthearted.
Yeah.
And then it gets dark quickly.
It does.
It gets dark quickly. Kind of like, but my favorite parts of it is, stand-up comedians, is the stand-up comedy scenes and how, like, they just, when he's doing poorly and, like, he's doing,
when he goes
like,
to the Edinburgh Fringe?
Yeah, well, even at the start in, like, the first episode where he's just doing, like, the clubs in London.
Right, yeah.
And then, like he's doing that competition.
Yes,
and then, like, when he's bombing and he's doing quite, like, stereotypical hack kind of stuff. And like they just strip the noise and it's just silence.
I've definitely been in that exact situation before where having that silence.
So uncomfortable.
Yes.
And it's that was my favourite part.
I want to use this episode because I wasn't sure. I wanted to do something because his show that he does in the Fringe, the poster and just the theme of that show is so perfect. It's so meta and it's like such a because like I've never been to the Edinburgh Fringe, but I'm a big fan of like the culture of it, like the whole doing, comedy shows to half empty chairs and that kind of thing. And so his poster, I'll see if I can if I remember in the edit, I'll chuck a graphic of it up now. Because do you remember what his show was called?
No.
So his show was called Lowland Cancer.
That's right. Yes,
I do. It's like him doing. He's like snapping a rubber glove on, and he's like doing like a wacky face to the camera, and like that is just perfect because like. He opens the show by being like, so my mum died today, and like then later on you meet his mum, so it's like he's doing this weird stolen valor thing of like dead mum from colon cancer, and like it's like offensive title, but it's like a kind of a really good pun, and like that is so Edinburgh. Like I love that as the thing, and then the other bit that really tickled me, apart from just the whole like the imagery that he used, is like all the quotes on the poster are exactly what people do for their first quotes. There's like a quote from his mum that says like he's my special little boy. There's a quote from his dad being like I'm not interested. I'm getting these wrong, but there's something like that. And then there's one from the Guardian that just says no, we will not give you a quote to use on your comedy poster. And I think the tagline at the top is something like 1 man, 1 hour, one too many props or something like that. And like like just that poster was. You don't even really see it for that long in the show, but you do see a little bit of the show. But I just really appreciated how much work obviously went into that little detail, and as a graphic designer, that it really landed with me. So 2 thumbs up for that, and why not do it on Hosstown? Because here we are.
Yes. You can definitely tell. The show was. I mean, the guy starring in it was a stand-up comedian.
Yes.
You can tell. The people writing it had a lot of experience, and that's it. It was very accurate. A lot of those moments, and even the whole competition thing, like, he's a struggling grafting comedian who thinks the competition's actually gonna like be the break, and it's even though it could have, you don't know how he did, but like
that's right.
It's kind of
I've never had the experience of entering a comedy competition before because
it sucks.
I don't imagine it's a lot of fun. Because it's so hard to judge stand up on one single performance. Like you would need to do it in a kind of like fantasy football, you do the whole season of your team. That honestly, and you would have to like, if you wanted to do it kind of like quote unquote fairly or like objectively, I guess, you would need to just carry like a dictaphone or something and record how loud the laughs you were getting, and then like, do like some spreadsheet thing where you divide that by like how many laughs you got, and then do it over the course of like 6 months of open mic gigs, and then you just measure whoever was getting the most laughs throughout that whole thing. Because like, anyone can be the best on the night, but it's put it this way: I don't believe there's a way you can be objective in deciding who's a good comedian and who's not. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, but then me being an honest person, my first thought is I'll just bring a Bluetooth speaker and pump in laughter in my own set.
You'll give yourself.
I'll have like a timed laugh track for my punchlines. But what would be funny is if I do that and then I just get out of sync. And then there's just laughter cutting me off on my punch.
You're crushing on the setups.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, they're fun-ish.
It's just stage time. That's
stage time.
That's
stage time.
I've had so many starting comics get real stressed out and sort of not necessarily complaining to me, but just sort of talking about how they don't think it's a fair kind of system or whatever. And it's if you're one of those comics that's entering a competition, don't worry about it. It's 4 gigs. Just look at it as four bits of stage time you're going to get. That's the you don't introduce Jerry Seinfeld as the winner of the Long Island comedy competition 1974, right? It's you're hopefully going to go on to do bigger and better things, so
he was actually the runner-up in that. He got
was he?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow,
it's a sore point for old Jerry. That's why he doesn't talk about it.
Oh. There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this Hosstown clip. Why not watch another one while you're at it? You can watch full episodes of the Hosstown podcast here on YouTube, or you can find them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favourite podcatcher. See you in Hosstown.